neighbors who may have happened to mention that they've heard her abusing you, they can actually be your witnesses. And sometimes they can leave information anonymously because some people don't want to get involved. But if you know anyone who is willing to say, hey, they've witnessed it or they've heard her do something to you, keep that information abreast and do what you've been doing, keeping in contact with Alexis. I'm speaking for everybody else, and I'm hoping that I'm accurate. You have an extended family of brothers and sisters here.
Yes, thank you. I really
appreciate
you.
I feel so bad for you. And I was like, oh, I don't want to tell you to run away, but I was like, I wish she was in Illinois because I would have just told you to come on and stay with me. So you get your stuff together.
I know. I wanted her to leave, and she said they would not put her in foster care or a home.
And that's something that, because most kids don't demand to go to foster care, and the problem that I'm having with that situation is, are they going to wait till something happens to you where you're broken or you're bleeding or you're dead, and then they're, now we want to be active about it. But she told you about it before. And that hurts my heart when people are saying, hey, well, you go back to the situation. No, she trumped up enough courage to go and open her mouth, and then you shut her down. So try to get, do what Alexis told you to do, get the information on the cops, go get their supervisor, call the superintendent of police in your area, just go out, get as much information as you can. But the best thing that you could do for right now, keep in contact and let everybody know what's going on.
Yes, I definitely will. And thank you.
No problem. I love you, Alexis, and you just keep being strong and doing your thing.
Thank you.
Did anybody else? All the phone lines are open. Anybody else have any questions or comments for Parrish? Or is there anything else you want to say, Parrish? Because we can do, you want to come back and do another show, that's fine. We can do as many as you need to when you need to vent or give us a detail. Because, see, this is also documentation. Because all this is being recorded, and everybody's listening to it, and they're going to continue to listen to it, and I'm putting it up on YouTube. So anytime you want to do a show, you want to let us know what's going on, you want to give us a name, anything, any information, so that anything happens to you, we have everybody's listening.
I'll definitely come back and do another show. I just want to say I really do appreciate you guys. You don't know how much I do. And you know the way I feel about you, Alexis.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys, but I definitely will keep you informed and up to date.
Because I told you, I'm expecting great things from you. Graduating college, really going out, changing the world, being a role model like you're already doing for young people, and just traveling, living your life, doing big things with your life. I want you to prove her wrong. Everything that she said you couldn't do, I want you to do, because you are in the same situation that I was in. The exact same thing you're going through, I went through it. I just didn't have courage at 16 years old. I guess let me take that back. I did tell family members. I told teachers, and my mother would do exactly what your mother did. My family member would say, well, say something to my mother. You shouldn't do that. God's going to get you. But meanwhile, y'all told me that I'll pray for you. Now y'all got to go back home. No family member wanted to be involved, and then they would tell her, and she'd be like, oh, you told? Now you're really going to get punished, and now you're not going to go over there anymore. You're not going to be able to talk on the telephone to them. And when you talk on the telephone, my mother always picked up the phone. Whenever we were on the telephone, I had no freedom, couldn't have any boyfriends, couldn't have any slumber parties, couldn't go spend the night with anybody, couldn't spend the night with me. Everything, we were isolated. And even with women going with men, those are some of the signs. The situation is the same. It's just instead of a child and parent relationship, you got a man and woman relationship. When men abuse women, they do the same thing. They will isolate them. They will surround them and make them feel like they need them. They're getting their support from them. You can't go anywhere. Who are you going to tell? Who's going to believe you? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do without me? If you tell people, they talk to them, and they don't believe you. They believe the abuser. I see this cycle on so many different levels, and that's how I've learned it. And it helped me. I decided to stop beating myself up, because I beat myself up and put myself down for years. That's why I'm just starting to accomplish things so late, because I didn't believe. And the only thing I believed I could do was fail. Now I believe that my only option is to win. Failure is not an option. But I had to program my own self, because I didn't have people like me around me. Like you're starting to meet people like me, and now you see other people are supporting me in my effort to support you, supporting yourself. So that's why I'm, telling you these things, because you have to prove her wrong. Because what she said to you was a bunch of lies. She wants you to believe that you can fail so you can never supersede her. And what you have to realize, your mother is so low that it really doesn't take much for you to supersede her. Because one thing you can do is graduate from high school. I don't care if you graduate at home, get your GED, whatever. You can still go to college, because I got a GED, and with a GED, I'm enrolled in college. I just got to decide when in my schedule I'm going to take my ass back. So my mother would always beat me up about that, and she would get in front of her friends. She said it to my son, "Oh, your mother, she was so stupid. She couldn't even graduate from high school. She didn't even get her high school diploma." And then she said it to me in front of one of her friends, I guess a couple of years ago. "You couldn't even graduate high school, ha, ha, ha." And I'm just like, no, it wasn't that I couldn't graduate from high school, bitch. It was that when I lived with you, every 6 months you moved. So I was even coming on a school year that was beginning, coming in the middle, and then leaving again and going to another school when it was ending. And you were fucking beating me and abusing me and my brother and my sister every day, and defects and, was coming in, or I had to hear my sister get beat up and watch you beat her naked, or watch you choke her or punch her in the face with your fist. And I'm looking at her bleeding. I'm looking at my brother bleeding. Every day I come home, I'd rather be at school than come home, because I know it's going to be some screaming, somebody's going to get abused. You won't help me with my homework, things I didn't understand. I was basically shit out of luck on my own, and the only time you would pay attention to me is when my teachers called and said, "Oh, she didn't do her work," or "She didn't pledge allegiance to the flag," and then it's like, okay, beat her because she didn't pledge allegiance. I mean, it would be very difficult for you to graduate too. If you're going through this all day and every day, and I really felt dumb, but now when I look at the circumstances, I see why. I was under pressure and stress in having to cook for myself, my brother, my sister. I'm having to be the adult in the house and take care of 2 other kids like I'm their mother, because my mother was running her church, traveling, doing crusades, and running the streets, hustling, selling dope, doing dope. This is what my mother was doing all day long, and people saw her as a preacher. They didn't see the other stuff that was going on. So when you're a child, I'm like 11, 12 years old, having to cook full-course meals, having to call my grandmother and say, "Grandmama, how do I cook the biscuits from scratch again? How do I cook string beans from scratch again? How do I cook this meat? How do I make this chicken? Because if I don't have it when they get home, they're going to beat me if I don't have this meal." I'm like 12, 13 years old, having to deal with this kind of stuff. So it's like I understand now why I was like so late doing everything. But the time I could remember, I studied, I took my GED. I'm like, I just want to get my GED. I want to get away from her. I want to get out of her house. I just cannot deal with this. It's like having to go to school and try to tell people what was happening, and then they confront my mother about it or tell her, "Your daughter needs a psychiatrist, your daughter needs some counseling. We did a test on her, and we can show that the scores on her test show that she has a poor outlook on the family. So that means that something is wrong in your home, ma'am." And she was like, "Oh, nothing's wrong with my home. It's her. She has a mental problem. She has some issues because I won't let her date and have boyfriends. She just wants to be hot and fast. That's why she has a poor image of family." They said, "No, ma'am. It's from the way she answered this psychological profile, something is really wrong in your house. We want to counsel her, and we want to counsel you. No. You're not going to talk to me. Let's go. Get up. Get your stuff. Let's go now. You can't come back. No more testing." Then you get in the car, and you get fucking threatened to be punched or beat or something. What did you say? So I know where you are. I know exactly how you feel. A lot of people will tell you that they know how you feel. "Oh, poor thing, I'm praying for you." They don't fucking know. They don't. They're lying. Now they can have some kind of empathy. They can feel sad because of what you're telling them, but they really don't fucking know. I know, and that's why I jumped right in and said, "No, bitch, I know exactly how the fuck you are. I see through you, bitch. You really think that you're gonna do this? You really think you're gonna get away with this? Now that I know what you did, you really think?" You can fucking forget it. Because I know the torture, the pain, the insecurity, the hopelessness you feel. I used to want to kill myself just to get away from my fucking mother, because nobody would do anything about it. All these grown people had money, had houses, had resources, could call the police. They wouldn't do nothing. They just sitting back talking about the shit, laughing about the shit. So that's why I always tell you these things that you need to know to be strong, to know that it's not you, there's nothing wrong with you, to ignore this sick bitch to get as far away from her as possible and to prove her wrong,